Hi, Susan here. Today I want to share some hints and insights about the use of teleprompters. It's aimed at people who are new to creating video content for training, advertising or personal purposes. So, to use a teleprompter or not to use a teleprompter, that is the question. You could speak to 10 different people and get 10 different opinions on this. So for the purposes of this video, I'll go through some of the pros and cons. I'll share some of my insights that I've picked up so far, and then I'll let you decide for yourself. Some people can switch on a camera and happily ramble on for hours. Sorry, I actually mean fluently convey their message naturally and with ease. More importantly, without forgetting everything that they want to say. Other mere mortals like myself would have to do several hundred takes, hate the finished version, and still realise that they'd missed out some vital detail. Do you get where I'm going to here? So enter the teleprompter. Personally, I'm doing a 90-day video challenge and I hit a wall. The point where I realised that the videos I'd been putting out there up to that point were about me talking and sharing about me. At that time, I realised I wanted to make the videos of more value to my audience, and I realised that I needed to put a bit of structure and planning into them, and therefore I needed some sort of script. Now, if I had a script to follow without a teleprompter, would I remember everything in it? Simple. Absolutely not. So one opinion is to create your script and then practice it until you've memorised it and you can deliver your video without any aid. That works for some. On the other hand, you can formulate your ideas in their correct order on the script and then pop them into the teleprompter, and away you go. Some of the negatives reported when people start using teleprompters, and before they become really comfortable using them, is that when they're just talking from the heart and camera, it flows naturally and their personality comes through. However, when they start using a teleprompter, it all becomes a bit flat and they lack personality or flair. Now this can be down to the need to concentrate on reading the content and the speed of the teleprompter. The key word here is reading. To digest and reading to digest and reading to share are two completely different skills that need to be practiced, learned and mastered. Suggestions and ways around the flatness of delivery include having a list of questions or single word prompts rather than a word-for-word script. And again, the best way to find out what works best for you is to try the different ways and see what works best. Share your results and ask for honest feedback. There's no lift to the top of the mountain, folks. I'm afraid you need to take the stairs. Be aware that often others see us differently from how we see ourselves. I started this journey hating my broad Glasgow accent, and yet it's something that people from all over give me lovely compliments on. All in the eye, or maybe I should say the ear of the beholder, apparently. So a few wee things to consider here. Firstly, practice using the teleprompter at different speeds until you find your natural speed. I was listening to a Canadian lady delivering training on this the other day, and she suggested a setting of around 150 to 180. That made me laugh. I'm using 210. We Scots do tend to speak quickly, and we have to make a concerted effort to slow our speech down to be understood. Again, keeping your audience in mind, you must strike a balance between what's natural and comfortable for you and understandable for your audience. If you speak too fast in a heavy accent, you risk your message just getting lost. Secondly, write your script for your teleprompter as if you're speaking to someone, not creating a business document. That way your flow will be natural rather than formal, unless formal is what's needed. Thirdly, I don't divide my script into paragraphs for the teleprompter. Yes, I'll start a new line with a new idea, but not double space, as it creates an empty space on the teleprompter, which is unnatural and interrupts your normal flow and speed of your speech. Fourth, don't stress trying to catch up on a runaway teleprompter. Stop and do the retake if you can, or if you can't, forget what's going and just start from where you're at. If it's running too slow, definitely stop. Change the speed up and retake if you can. Fifthly, I use a huge font on the teleprompter so that I don't need to squint. move my eyes across the screen to read it. It makes it less obvious that you're using a teleprompter. I'm often asked if I use one, which I think means I'm doing something right. But, you know, I did start to feel the pressure building for this one as I was writing the script. So you can give me your honest verdict in the comments below on that one. It's a bit like the old Harmony hairspray advert. Is she or isn't she wearing Harmony? Anyway, I digress. Next, if using a teleprompter in your phone to record video, most apps will give you the choice of where on the screen the text is placed. On my phone, the lens is in the mid-centre and left of the screen when it's placed horizontally, in the wee stand that I use. So I place the text over that. That helps me keep my eyes focused on the text which is on top of the lens. The next trick is not to talk to yourself on the screen, or more importantly, not to be looking at yourself on the screen whilst you're talking, as that will take your eyes away from your lens and, more importantly, from your audience. Eye contact is super important for engagement with your audience. It's okay to look away if you're momentarily pausing for a thought. Kind of like that. But the general rule of thumb is that you want to be making eye contact. Hence, the best place to put your text is over the lens. I mentioned when the phone is in the horizontal position there, just a wee heads up in case you don't know. When you're recording video on your phone, you really should have your phone held horizontally rather than vertically, and when recording a live, you cannot change it midway through, i.e. when you realise that you're holding it wrong. But that's just a wee aside. I learned that from experience. So just to recap, the main things to think about when deciding if a teleprompter is right for you are whether or not you can remember everything you want to say in the order you want to say it and then deliver it accordingly. If you decide to opt for using a teleprompter, then the size and speed of the text on the screen and where that text is placed to keep you looking into the lens are hugely important too. Decide if you prefer to use single word prompts, a list of questions, or a word-for-word script. As this training is purely around whether using a teleprompter is for you, I really don't want to veer off into video production type stuff, but just to mention briefly some other important considerations. When filming your video, is the lighting in the room adequate? Is there background noise? Are there going to be interruptions? Do you have a microphone? And finally, remember to switch your phone notifications to silent. There's nothing worse than being 4 minutes into a video recording for the third time and your phone bleeps or rings. Just for your information, I use an app called Big View, which allows you to share between your phone and PC. I'm not an affiliate, so I'm not trying to sell anything here. It's just that's the one I know because it's the one I use. It doubles as a teleprompter and video editing creation software. It is reasonably priced and it offers a monthly or annual subscription. It's really simple to use. There are also loads of video tutorials for it. So I know there are other free teleprompters out there, so do your own research and find out what works best for you. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me in the comments below. And as always, thank you for listening.